What is up, YouTube? So today we're just going to do a quick tutorial on how to wire multiple subwoofers together, and more specifically subwoofers that have multiple voice coils, which is going to be most subwoofers that you buy nowadays. Now, I know that there are a lot of videos out on this particular topic. You know, what's one more video going to hurt? I would like to say thanks. It looks like people are watching my videos. One of my videos has almost 400 views. I've gained a couple of subscribers. I really appreciate that. You know, the more the better. If you guys could like, subscribe to my channel, comment on my videos, that would help, and I would greatly appreciate it. So another thing we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using my setup here to kind of explain how I wire this, and more specifically what this is. So, but first, let's go to our whiteboard and we can kind of just give a brief explanation of what it is that we're going to do. So what we're going to do first is series wiring. Now this is wiring end to end, or in a line, or in a series. So positive to negative, positive to negative, positive to negative. And what this does will bring the resistance up. So let's say we have two drivers here, both of them 2 ohm drivers with single positive, single negative. So we're going to run a jumper from one of the negatives to one of the positives, and then that leaves us with 1 positive and 1 negative pole, resulting in 4 ohms. Simple formula: 2 ohms times 2 drivers equals 4. That's how you end up with that. And the same would be if you had 3 drivers. So you just take the resistance load, 2 ohms, times the number of drivers. So 2 drivers, 3 drivers, 4 drivers, it could be an infinite number. The formula would be the same. So let's demonstrate that here. We have 3 drivers, 2 ohm resistance. We're going to run a jumper, run another jumper, and then that leaves us again with 1 positive and 1 negative. So what is our resultant impedance going to be? Well, we have 3 2 ohm drivers. 2 times 3 is 6 ohms. All right, so let's erase some of this, and we're going to do parallel, a parallel wiring next. Okay, so parallel is you're wiring them next to each other, or in parallel, or side by side, basically. So really what that means is you're connecting all the positives to each other and all the negatives to each other. So if you have 10 drivers, it's positive, 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 positive 10 times. Same with the negative. So here we have 2 ohm drivers, and this brings the impedance down. You take 2 divided by 2 equals 1. That's how you end up. If you ran 2 ohm drivers in parallel, you end up with a 1 ohm final resistance. Okay, so here's 3, positive, 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 negative, negative, negative. That would be 2 ohms divided by 3, and you get 0.667. So your final impedance to your amplifier here would be 0.67. So guys, you can see my setup here. I'm going to use this to sort of illustrate what we're talking about. So you can see I've got a dual voice coil subwoofer here. One is here, positive, negative. Leads are right there. One is here, positive, negative, leads are right there. So a lot of subwoofers, most of them that I've seen are dual voice coil, and that's what that means, is you've got a resistive load here, a resistive load here. It would be the same as if you were wiring two subwoofers with a single voice coil together. The concept would be the same. So think of this as two separate electrical resistors. This is one of them, this is the second one. And the way I like to do this is I always like to use like a bus bar system here. That way, if I ever want to change my impedance, I don't have to, if I soldered these, I don't have to cut them and resolder them, or I don't have to go to the amplifier and make a bunch of changes there, or I don't have to, I don't have to change the unit itself. All I do is mess with this. So you can see each circuit here is separated. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got my voice coil here. The positive is right there. The negative is there. This one, positive is here, negative is here. And so if I wanted to just connect these the way that they are, say from two different amplifiers, I'd hook one amplifier in right there, positive, negative. I'd hook the second amplifier in right there. There you go. Now you've basically got two amplifiers on what is effectively two speakers or two resistive loads. But we're not going to do that. We're going to use one amplifier on one subwoofer with two voice coils. And the way I like to use that, or do that, excuse me, is use these little jumpers. Then I can, put these wherever I want them. That way it will connect these circuits together, wiring them in either series or parallel. And so how we're going to do that, I'm just going to show you in real time with my multimeter how this works. So I'm on the resistance. You see the little ohm load there. That's how you know you're testing the resistance. And these are dual, well, this is supposed to be a dual 1 ohm subwoofer. That's the way I ordered it. So let's see if it came out the way I ordered it. Here is one voice coil. Okay, 1 ohm. Here's the second one. 1 ohm. Okay, right on the money. So what we're going to do first is wire this in series. So that theoretically should bring us up to 2 ohms. 1 ohm plus 1 ohm is 2 ohms. So we're going to use our little jumper. And the way you do that, remember, is you use the negative from one voice coil and the positive of your other voice coil, and now you have a new single negative and positive. So let me show you how we do that. Okay, so now you can see we've got our 2 voice coils, positive, negative, with a jumper in the back. So we basically connected this positive to this negative. It'd be the same thing if you had the push terminals. If you just took a jumper and ran it from one of your negative push terminals and ran it over to your positive push terminal on the other voice coil. And now you've got the negative free on one of your voice coils and the positive free on the other one. So theoretically, this is supposed to be now acting as though it is a single 2 ohm resistor. So let's see if that's what we got. And there we go, 2 ohms. So if you either wanted to strap 2 amps together at 2 ohms, this would be how you would do that. Then you have one positive and one negative plug in there. Or if you just wanted to get less power out of a 1 ohm amplifier, or if you wanted to use an amplifier that's only 2 ohms stable, if you had this particular setup, dual 1 ohm voice coils, this is how you would do that. Okay, so that was a series circuit. Now let's do parallel. Okay, so here we're going to use both of our jumpers. And we're just going to take the negative of one and the negative of the other and connect those together. So we got black to black, red to red, negative to negative, positive to positive. Okay, so here's what we have here. This might be a little bit difficult to see, but this is what a parallel circuit looks like. So meaning each is wired next to each other. So the way I think about that is every red is connected, every black is connected. So you can see the jumper is going from here to here, and from here to here. So then all you would need to do is either use this positive and this negative, or this positive and this negative, or you could use this positive and this negative, or this positive and this negative. When you're hooking up your amp, it would make no difference because these are all run together. So you effectively just have one. So parallel should bring our resistance down. So dual 1 ohm, you split that in half. So this should be a 1/2 ohm, which is what I want to wire this sub at. So let's see if that's what we end up with. 0.6, okay, there you go. And just to show you, same. Same. Same, 0.6. So you can see that when you wire it this way, any positive and any negative terminal would be fine to connect to your amplifier. So I hope that helped you guys kind of understand how to do this and how to set up this bus bar. I know I've seen, when I first got into this, I would see people that would have these, but I didn't know what they were for. Well, this is what they're for. That way you can pretty easily change your impedance load on the fly if you wanted to. If you got a different amplifier, or you wanted to get a little bit more or a little bit less out of your amp, whatever, you could do it pretty easily if you had it set up the way I have it set up here.